The Shelby Whippets finished the regular season 17-3 and won the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference with an 11-1 record. Their only 3 losses were to Worcester, Olentangy, and River Valley, and they started the playoffs with a sectional final win over Vermilion. Tonight they start their quest for a district championship as they take on the Huron Tigers. Coming up next.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
On the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Oh, 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 oh. Love the little things, love the little things.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 1 of our doubleheader. We have both Division II District Semifinals for you tonight. The first game, number 1 seed Shelby taking on number 6 Huron. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins, and this is when the games, I believe, really start to look good in the tournament as you get into district and then into the regionals.
Oh, I agree with you. Obviously, as you progress, the competition's going to get stiffer and stiffer, and tonight we have 2 good teams. Shelby, obviously the number 1 seed, and there's a reason why the 2 seed, 3 seed, and 4 seed all went to the opposite bracket, because Shelby is an outstanding basketball team. But their foe tonight, Huron, had a very good season, and hey, it's tournament time, and as we've talked about before, Brian, you don't have to beat Shelby 5 or 6 or 7 times. or best of 7. You just have to beat them once tonight.
The keys for tonight's game, obviously, I believe the team that gets off to the best start has a really good chance of winning this ball game. And in fact, Huron, if they have a chance, they have to come out of the gate quick.
I don't think there's any question. I mean, they are a decisive underdog here today, and you don't want to give Shelby any more confidence than they already have. You want your kids to have confidence that, yeah, we can play with Shelby. So a good start, especially for Huron, is ultra important.
And scoring against pressure is something that you feel is important as well.
Well, I think it's important, especially for Huron, because Shelby is going to get out and pressure. They're going to trap. They're going to try to create some offense from their defense. And if Huron has trouble handling the pressure, they're going to have a big, long night. But they can also take advantage of that pressure, as Vermillion did in the first quarter, and score against that pressure. Shelby, it's a high-risk, high-reward type pressure defense, and you have to take advantage against that pressure.
We have seen a lot of very good high school basketball players this year, but I don't know if any of them are better than TJ Pugh for Shelby.
Well, certainly he's putting up some great stats, and he's had a great career, and he doesn't want it to end right now. And, you know, when I look at Shelby, the little bit I've seen them, they have an outstanding basketball team led by a couple of very, very talented players in TJ Pugh and then also Cody Lance.
Yes, Cody Lance is kind of the Robin to the Batman for TJ Pugh.
Yeah, he is. On any other team, he is the go-to guy.
We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem. We are back here at Ashland High School, just a few minutes away from the opening tip-off in this Division II District semifinal between the number 1 seed Shelby Whippets as they take on the number 6 seed Huron Tigers. As we take a look at the starting lineups, we see the Tigers under the direction of head coach Bobby James. Their backcourt is Mark Hurst, Tyler Adams, and Cole Parker. And up front, it's Jacob Lamb and Dylan Holler. Holler, a sophomore, is their leading scorer. For the Shelby Whippets, their backcourt of Brazier Roberts, Andre Hill, and Cody Lance. And the front court, a rather large front court in comparison to Huron. 6'6" TJ Pugh and 6'6" Jeremy Holloway. The third key of the game was rebounding, and Huron is going to have to do a very good job boxing out against the larger Whippets.
You're right, and Shelby does a good job of attacking the offensive boards. Shelby is, the little I've seen of Shelby, they are an attack team. Defensively, they attack you. Offensively, they're going to attack you. And they're going to get on the offensive boards, and, you know, to pull an upset, you've got to do some things, and one of them is you got to limit the opponents to one shot each time down.
The winner of this game will take on the winner of Game 2. That is Norwalk against Ontario, and that's a game that you can also see right here on OH Report. And as you talked about when we were doing the Fredericktown game, as a coach, you're kind of looking ahead a little bit because you want to plan But as a player, you've got to make sure that you stay focused and you don't let a team like Huron stay in the ball game.
Well, exactly. As a coach, especially with playing tonight and the winner has a couple of days to prepare for the opponent, you have to have a little bit of a prep ready how you're going to prepare come Thursday, come Friday for Saturday's basketball game. But no way do you want the players looking ahead. Players, you're focused right now. And again, as we talked about at Fredericktown, if you're Shelby and you're the heavy favorite, you want to come out and play outstanding basketball so you're getting close to your peak, if not peaking right now, because the competition's going to get stiffer and stiffer as they progress in the tournament, or if it's Huron progressing.
Well, and as we saw in that game at Fredericktown, the Freddies struggled. They came out of the gate slow, had to come from behind to win that ball game. Shelby didn't have that problem. In their sectional final, they beat Vermilion 71-36. Pugh scored 31. Cody Lance added 15. So everything was going according to script for the Shelby Whippets in that sectional final.
Right, and their pressure just eventually got to Vermilion. In the first period, Vermilion was able to break the pressure. Again, high risk, high reward for Shelby. If you can break the pressure, Vermilion was able to get some layups. But then it started to wear on them. Turnovers. And Shelby just took that converted that into points. I mean, right now Shelby is averaging over 70 points a game. Most of the teams we've seen this year, Brian, it seems like they're averaging in the low 50s, even many of them in the 40s.
Yeah, hopefully, we're going to see some offense tonight here in the district semifinal. It's going to be the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference against the Sandusky Bay Conference. That is also going to be the case in Game 2 as Norwalk takes on Ontario. Shelby is going to play Huron. Huron 11-6. They're out of the Sandusky Bay Conference as well. They defeated Clear Fork 57-51 in their sectional final. Their scoring is a lot more balanced. Tyler Adams led the way with 14, including 3 threes. Jacob Lamb, Dylan Holler, and Cole Parker each scored 11. So they spread the ball and distribute it a little bit more than Shelby might. But to their disadvantage, I don't know if they have that go-to scorer.
Right, exactly. Now, I've heard a great deal about the sophomore Dylan Holler. I'm looking forward to watching him play. But, let's go back. We've had Clear Fork this year. They're a pretty good basketball team. That's a good win for Huron in the first game or in the sectional finals.
Almost on cue, Dylan Holler with that block of the shot taken by Roberts. Shelby in the white uniform. They're the home team on the scoreboard tonight.
Notice that Shelby, even though they have size, they like to run a 5-out offense.
TJ Pugh with his first shot attempt of the ball game. He is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Now, if I'm Huron, and, I know Coach Bobby James knows he has a tall task ahead of him, but he would love to see Pugh spend his days with a mid-range jumper, 15 to 18 feet, even out to the three-point line. Yeah, he's good, but you got to take away something, and you want to keep him from getting to the hoop.
He is the most explosive scorer that we have seen all season long, averages almost 25 points a ball game.
And here's the pressure. Good job breaking it. They get a look that they want.
They also get an offensive rebound, but they can't hold on to it.
And again, 2 possessions, or 3 possessions, I guess, 2 turnovers for Huron. Got to take care of the ball to pull an upset.
Lance pulls up for 3. It doesn't go. Ball batted around into the hands of Jacob Lamb. Down inside, out of the double team. They're forced to kick it out to Tyler Adams.
Now, some people might say, well, why doesn't Huron run a lot of clock? Make it a shorter game. Well, that'd be great. But the style of defense that Shelby plays, it's tough to hold the basketball for any length of time. You still got to be aggressive.
Lamb with an offensive foul as he goes to the basket. As we take a look at the replay, the charge taken, and Shelby gets the ball back.
It's things like that why Cody Lance is going to Rio Grande to play basketball, play college basketball at NAIA school. You're a good scorer, but you're willing to do it defensively.
Pugh just makes it look so easy. He pulls up from the elbow,
Well,
and he now has 4, and Shelby up by 4.
Yeah, he does a great job of handling the basketball, and of course with his size, he can just elevate over so many players. Here's the pressure, the trapping. If you can break it, you'll get good looks.
3 in the air by Tyler Adams, doesn't go. And Pugh secures the rebound. Cody Lance spins in the lane, loses the handle, but he's fouled. Lance also an outstanding football player for the Whippets.
Well, Cody did a great job of taking the ball strong. It was a little spin move when he got close, but take the ball strong to the basket. And again, you know, I know TJ Pugh hit that 15-footer, and certainly he's capable of doing that, but you've got to keep Shelby away from the paint, away from the basket, make life difficult for them, and it's easier said than done. Not too many teams have been able to do it this year.
Lance averages about 15 a game, gets both free throws, and Shelby now up 6.
Well, he's an 81% free throw shooter, so that's pretty good. You want the ball in his hands, you want the ball in Pugh's hands, certainly late in the game and a close game.
Jacob Lamb gets the first bucket of the night for the Tigers.
That wasn't an easy shot. He took it and elevated.
And Lance just slices through the defense. He now has a game-high 6.
Yeah, Pugh there. Yeah, Pugh with a great move, and he goes off the wrong foot because he had to make the layup.
With his size and his strength, Andre Hill with the turnover. And Hill able to extend the lead, and a timeout taken by Huron. 5:09 to go in the opening quarter. And you talked about the key, a quick start, and Shelby is out of the gate strong.
And the style of defense that they play, it's just so hard because they will trap the basketball. They'll be aggressive to go after the basketball. Hey, they're not afraid to give up some points because they know they can score at the other end of the basket, at the other end of the court. So you've got to take advantage when they do trap of getting some layups. Maybe it takes an extra pass or so. Maybe it takes a little dribble penetration. And again, keep them out of the paint down here at the defensive end.
You see a spattering of fans on both sides of the arena. They have extended. Each team has 96 fans on each side of the floor. The athletic director for Ashland was talking to us before the ball game, and the governor extended the protocols for COVID. So you're going to hear a few more voices in the stands as we get deeper into tournament play.
Yeah, that's always good to get fans here, and more than just parents supporting their kid. If we can start getting student body, that's really nice.
Huron again breaks the pressure, but Andre Hill pokes it away.
Came from behind, and you've got to be wary of that. They're going to be sending pressure. They're going to be sending traps. Anytime you have the basketball, they're coming at you.
Pugh for 3, and he is red hot in the first quarter. He now has 9.
And that was not an easy shot. That's off the dribble. That's not an easy 3.
Little hand check and a foul called on Mark Hurst as Andre Hill is bringing the ball up. Here's the 3 by TJ Pugh. Gets his feet set, goes straight up.
Good form, good shot.
He almost looks like a man among boys.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's played a lot of basketball.
Ball poked away, but controlled by the Tigers, and Hill's going to be called for a reach.
You know, we always tell young players that use your dribble to attack or to maybe make a better angle for a pass, but you can't dribble in one place. That's what Huron's going to have to do. If you dribble in one place, there's going to be defense coming from behind or the side, but they're going to come looking for the basketball.
They inbound to Lamb, and Lamb, an off-balance shot in the lane, doesn't go, and Pugh clears the rebound. And Pugh at the other end continues his scoring here in the first quarter. He already has 11, and we've got 4 more minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was a Euro move, a great move. Some people, old-timers, think that's traveling. That's not. Great move. Here's good ball movement by Huron and knocking down a big shot by Dylan Holland. I've heard a lot about him. He's a sophomore. In that area, people say he's going to be a player.
Lance kicks it out to Roberts. Rims out, and Jacob Lamb with the rebound. Shelby with a 10-point lead. Lamb is going to be fouled by Marshall Shepard.
And that's good offense. Shelby was out denying all passing lanes. Huron was maybe standing around a little bit. That's all he had. That's all Jacob Lamb had was dribble penetration. Took the ball strong to the basket, was able to get the foul. If he can protect the ball a little bit more, he might even be able to go up and get a three-point play out of it.
Lamb, a 58% free throw shooter on the season, misses his first one. Misses both. Lance secures the rebound, and Shelby quickly up the floor. Backside rebound put back up and in by Jeremy Holloway.
Well, they're just beating Huron down the court now. And
left-handed shot missed by Huron. Pugh at the other end.
that was good help defense that time on Pugh. Kept him from getting to the hoop.
Lance gets the bucket. He's fouled. He'll go to the line and look for the three-point play. Cody Lance now with 4. Did a nice job of getting free for the shot, then just fouled on the follow-through. Timeout with 2:59 to go. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from Ashland High School. It's all Shelby, 19-5. The winner of this game will take on the Norwalk, Ontario winner on Saturday. The Ontario-Norwalk game will be played right after this matchup, and you can see that right here on the OH Report. I'm excited to see Joe Baylog 2 wins away from 600 going up against Steve Gray and the Norwalk Truckers.
Oh, those guys are close friends. They've coached against each other.
There's Joe in the left
years.
there in the white shirt.
Exactly.
Has really set the bar as far as coaching wins in North Central Ohio. And
yeah, I would hope so. 600 wins, yeah, that's
all at the same school.
Yeah, that's unbelievable also.
Cody Lance at the line. He connects on the three-point play. And he now has 5. And the lead for Shelby is now 15.
Well, if you're Shelby, this is exactly what you want. Come out, play your style of basketball, and play it well. And they're doing that right now.
There's a trip as Jacob Lamb foul is going to be called on Bruscotter. That's his first. He's a freshman. Shelby does a very good job of rotating to the ball.
Here's another trap.
They're big, they're athletic, they're quick. There's a 3 by Tyler Adams.
And you add to that, they play hard. So you're not going to get a lot of good looks. There they had a good look, Huron did, able to knock it down. Now they got to come down and, certainly with a team against like Shelby, you've got to get some stops. We've talked about the terminology of a kill, which is 3 consecutive stops.
And Pugh shooting with a lot of confidence in this first quarter. Just drains a 3. He's got 14 in the quarter, and it's a 23-8 lead. It looks effortless.
Oh, that's just a good stroke, and you can tell he's got the confidence right now. I mean, you look at TJ Pugh, and he's has a good percentage from the three-point line, but still, if I'm the opposition, I would rather have him out there than getting to the basket. I think right there, maybe defense had their hand down. I think Coach James was a little bit upset because of that defensively. So he uses his, was that his second or third timeout?
That's his second of the quarter.
Second of the quarter.
Actually, no, it's his third. They now have 2 timeouts left for the half.
Well, you got to use them. I mean, you don't want the game to get too far out of hand early if you at all can. look how Shelby is really forcing you into the defense.
Cody Lance at the other end was going to dunk, but he's fouled by Dylan Holler, the sophomore. And Holler just trying to save the crowd getting into it after the dunk, and it was actually a pretty smart foul by Holler. He almost got away with not committing the foul, but he'll send Lance to the line. Lance already with 7.
So the two biggies for Shelby are certainly coming through right now, with Pugh with 14 and Lance with, 8 right now, going on 9?
Well, Pugh's going to get a rest with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. He's got 14. Isaiah Ramsey, another freshman, comes in. Well, that's the good news for Huron. The bad news is Cody Lance is still on the floor.
Yeah. But regardless of Pugh's on the bench, they're still going to pressure. Now, Pugh does a great job of trapping, but still, they're going to still pressure. They're still going to come after you.
Adams misfires from three-point range. And Lance directs the offense at the other end. Kicks it out, 3 in the air by Bruscotter is no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of Cole Parker.
You can see, because of the pressure that Shelby gives, Huron just can't sit out there with the basketball. They're making you play.
Dylan Holler drives to the basket, draws the foul.
And I can see why people are excited about him. That was a good move right there. Used his body to protect the ball and gave it a chance for a three-point play.
Holler, the sophomore, leads the team in scoring, almost 12 a game.
He's just struggling from the free throw line.
Grabs about 7 rebounds per night. And normally he's a 75% free throw shooter. But he misses both. And TJ Pugh back into the lineup for Shelby. I really thought he was going to pull the 3.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of confidence and you're shooting that well, the bucket looks like it's 3 times the size that it really is.
Exactly.
There he drives to the basket over 3 defenders and draws the foul.
If you let him get that close, there's no way you're going to stop him from getting a shot up unless you foul him, especially if you have the limited size that Huron has.
Pugh led the league in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He knows how to stuff a stat sheet.
That's not bad. I mean, he's more than just a scorer if he also leads the league in assists. And I could see where he leads the league and such good with steals, because he does a great job of trapping a vulnerable ball handler.
Whippets with 27 points in the first quarter. And Huron just really struggling to get any kind of offensive continuity going here in the first quarter.
I think Huron would love to go for the last shot if they could get that option.
Off-balance shot is going to drop by Holler, but he's going to draw the foul on Pugh, so he'll go to the line. That's the first foul of the night for TJ Pugh.
And that was good offense by Huron. They spread the floor. They got a little dribble penetration. When Shelby helped, they had a kick, dribble penetrate, and got a chance for a three-point play, but can't connect on the free throw.
Huron continues to struggle from the line. And they're down 17 with about 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Look for a ball screen coming up right here, but Huron smart. Trap him, make him get rid of it.
Nice look inside, a shot fake and a foul as Isaiah Ramsey, the 6'2 freshman, will go to the line.
Well, the problem with that, Brian, is, trap him so he can't dribble penetrate. But Huron's trapping with 5'10", and he's 6'5", so eventually he just looks over it. He's too good of a passer. 1-2 passes, and they get too good of a look.
Ramsey misfires on the free throw. He splits the pair, and that's 28 points. And that will do it. Shelby with a strong first quarter. They lead 28-10 as we head to the second. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Oh, 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 oh. Love, love, little things. Love, love, little things.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Shelby up 28-10 as we start the second quarter. TJ Pugh red hot in that first quarter with 16. Cody Lance with 11.
We talked about handling Huron, handling the pressure. Well, they had 6 turnovers in the first quarter. That's 6 possessions where they don't get a shot up.
Well, Huron starts the second quarter with a 3 by Joey Shade, the 6'3 junior. He averages a point a game, so he's already 2 points over his average.
Yeah, that was great offense again. Penetrate when the defense helped, kick to the corner.
So Pugh comes out the other end and says, well, we'll negate that 3, and shakes his head as he backs up. This kid plays with incredible confidence.
And when he's shooting the ball that well from the outside, it's just
You can't give him that space.
Matchup.
He now with 19. Shelby continuing with the very solid half-court pressure.
Huron doing a better job handling the ball here, but you notice that Shelby's keeping Cody Lance inside to keep you from getting all the way to the hoop.
Luke Lagondo misses on the three-point try, but there's a scramble for the ball, and Shelby comes away with it. That's Roberts. Lance takes the low pass. Lance in the lane, off balance. And Cody Lance now with 9.
That was a great move. Tough shot. He made it go.
It really makes it hard for opposing defenses to put any kind of a gimmick defense like a box and one against Pugh because Cody Lance.
Well, exactly right. I'm sure that they saw this year some box and one, maybe some triangle and 2. I mean, teams had to try something. I mean, my game plan coming in, I think, is same as what Huron tried to do, pack the inside, make them hurt you from the outside. Well, TJ Pugh's doing that. He's hurting you from the outside. So where you go from here, that's why I'm sitting up here with you, Brian.
Luke Lagondo missed the free throw, but an offensive rebound and a swat and a foul. I believe this is going to be on Lance. So it will send Joey Shade, the junior, back to the line. 3 of 4 from the stripe in limited action this season, and he misfires on the first.
I think they called that foul on Jeremy Holloway. That's his second. So right away, Coach Loney gets a sub in for him. Comes in with another 6'5 player. That's not bad subbing. 6'5 for 6'3, 6'4.
Well, we were watching Shelby warm up, and then you look down at Huron, and you saw the size differential between the two schools. And there you see it batted out of bounds. It will stay with Shelby.
You got to be impressed with Shelby. Not only are they a skilled basketball team, but they play hard. They play hard. They're unselfish. Obviously, Pugh and Lance are the go-to guys, but those guys will give it up. If you're open, they'll give it up.
Pugh with a missed shot, and we have not said that much here in the first half. Cole Parker tried to go baseline, and Pugh up ahead to Lance on an alley-oop.
That was a nice catch and put back up. Those aren't easy. He makes it look easy.
And then Shelby coming back with their full court pressure and a timeout taken by Huron. 5:51 to go. Here we take a look at the alley-oop. That's a nice pass. And Lance finishes at the other end. 35-14. 5:51 to go in the first half. And Huron, you're at a point now you're just really trying to – the Titanic is sinking.
Yeah.
And you're trying to just fill holes.
Now, let's talk about Huron a little bit. Obviously, right now it's tough for them, but it's been tough for a lot of teams. This year they beat Norwalk. They not only beat Norwalk, but they beat them by close to 20 points. That in itself was a big, big win. They also had a big win over Oak Harbor that had a good record this year. They beat Oak Harbor, I think, the first time by 25, second time by 9. So they have had their nights where they have played awfully well. Here's again the replay of the lob. It's one thing to catch it. It's another to be able to catch it and get body control and lay it in while you're in the air.
Talking about Huron, they finished the regular season 10-6, 6-4 in the Bay Division of the Sandusky Bay Conference, which was good for third place. It's the MOAC against the Sandusky Bay Conference in both games of our doubleheader here today on OH Report. Coming up, we'll have Ontario taking on those Norwalk Truckers that you just talked about. We got a tie-up, and the possession arrow goes to Shelby.
And this is the style that Shelby plays. They have 18 fouls right now, but you know, they're going to have their fouls. As hard, as aggressive as they play, they're going to foul. Good hedge that time by Huron.
Bruscotter with a three, doesn't go.
And that's a good job defensively. Good hedge on Pugh, make him give it up and make someone else shoot the basketball.
Pugh with another rebound. He led the conference in rebounding as well. You talk about complete ball players, and TJ Pugh just might be that. He might be the most complete ball player that I've seen in a long time.
Well, he's, last year he was an All-Ohio player, and you know he's going to be this year. Obviously a talented, skilled player. And it helps to be surrounded by a talented team.
Bruscotter with a three that goes, so the freshman, the 6'5" freshman with a three.
I've heard a lot of good things about him. Shelby, they have a few seniors, but they're going to be pretty good in the next few years also. They've got some nice young players coming.
Well, their starting lineup, with the exception of Pugh and Lance, are juniors. And they're getting a lot of minutes from these freshmen that we've seen, and a ball out of bounds. It will stay with Huron. Andre Hill, Jeremy Holloway back into the Shelby lineup. And Roberts and Lance will get a break with 4 minutes to go in the half. Nathan Loney does a very good job of rotating and keeping fresh legs in the ball game. And with the pace that they play, that's something that you can't take that for granted.
Exactly. You know, and they're going to want to do this, well, for the most part, the entire game. They're going to pressure you. They're going to go attacking you, and they're going to run on offense.
So Pugh at the line with 19. Make that 20. 20 points with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
And we talked about Cody Lance being over an 80% free throw shooter. So is TJ Pugh. And we've seen a lot of what we think are good scorers this year, but just cannot convert free throws. He's obviously a complete player. He can play offense, play defense, as you mentioned, and hit those freebies.
Well, you look at the way he shoots, whether it's from the perimeter or from the line, and it's a very nice stroke, very loose wrist.
Right.
He gets a lot of extension on his jumper. Then they do a nice job of cutting off the baseline, and I don't know how that pass got out to Luke Rager. I really don't. Shelby is they are so quick at the defensive end, and a three by Holler, the sophomore.
And that was 3 or 4 steps behind the three-point line.
Holler now with 8. Pugh. All right, now he's just toying with him.
Good help, yeah, but it was good help by Huron.
Up ahead to Lagondo. He gets Pugh off of his feet.
Well, Huron's doing a great job right now. Shelby being a little careless with the ball. Huron taking advantage.
Tate Fisher hits the 3. And Huron to within 18.
Nice ball movement there on Huron's part.
Pugh may have gotten away with a push as the Huron bench is screaming at the officials. How'd you like to draw the defensive assignment of TJ Pugh?
Well, I'd want to have some teammates.
They got a sophomore on him.
Yeah.
Pugh goes to the line. He's fouled hard.
Well, there's very few players out there that can take TJ Pugh one-on-one defensively and guarding. So it's going to have to be a team collective effort.
Well, you're really going to have to emphasize help principles when you're playing against a guy like TJ Pugh.
Well, Brian, you mentioned about their losses this year. One of their losses was against Olentangy, where TJ Pugh didn't play. He was quarantined during that time and did not play, even though it is a good Olentangy team. But
Pugh fouled hard as he cut to the basket off of the free throw miss, and he'll go back to the line.
A story about that, the Olentangy basketball coach actually played 8th grade basketball for me back in the Stone Ages, and I texted him after the game when I saw the score, and I said, Johnny, congratulations, that's a big win. And he texted back,
said, well.
He goes, Pugh didn't play. But I'll take it.
Oh, take a look at the shoes that Pugh is wearing. I have a pair of those at home myself.
Oh, do you really?
No,
Is it the shoes that?
It's got to be the shoes.
I mean, like in the YMCA league, can you do these kind of things that he does?
No.
No.
I can shoot a free throw, and that's about it. That's where the comparison ends.
Yeah.
And I can do that.
Right, there you go.
Well, he'll have to settle for 22 here in the first half.
Nice
and getting
move.
away was Luke Lagondo going to the basket. And a timeout taken by Shelby, and Nathan Loney doesn't like what he sees. He's starting to see a little bit of a let-up here in the second quarter.
Well, I think you're right. Bobby James is excited that his kids are not quitting. They're attacking. Right there was a prime example of high risk, high reward. The lane is open. He's able to split the trap, and he's able to get a layup. Good ball handling enables him to get to the hoop and get a layup. And if you're Coach Loney, I'm sure he's not saying this game's over right now. He's got a 17-point lead. He's comfortable. I think more than that, he just wants his team playing at a high level for 32 minutes.
Wants them to stay focused. They have a 41-24 lead as we're under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And the job that Nathan Loney has done at Shelby in his second season, they're 36-9 overall and 23-1 in the MOAC under Loney, and they've won back-to-back conference championships.
And I think their one MOAC loss was to River Valley late this season.
Yes. And now they would like to cap this season off with a deep tournament run. Foul on the rebound.
You know, here's an opportunity right now with 1:38. You would think that maybe Pugh might be sitting the rest of the half. I guess it probably depends on how this next 30 seconds or so goes, but a chance for Huron maybe to, again, gain a little bit of momentum. Their offense has been running well lately, and their defense has been good. But with Pugh out, they can compound that.
The Bruscotter split the pair, but Cody Lance comes up with the offensive rebound. So Shelby with a chance to go back up by 20 here before halftime.
But a much better job defensively this quarter so far by Huron.
It's Marshall Shepard. Andre Hill launches a three.
And it was a cutter, and Huron got confused, didn't have very good communication. He was just wide open at the three-point line.
There's Pugh getting a rest before halftime. And a tie-up, and the possession will stay with Huron.
Yeah, he tried to split the trap that time, and dribble was just a little bit too high, and Shelby took advantage and grabbed it.
Shot fake by Holer, and he attacks on the baseline. That's a nice-looking sophomore.
That is. People in Huron are going to be excited to see him the next couple of years.
He clears the miss. Huron tried to run, but Shelby in transition, very good at getting back, but a nice shot by Lagondo.
That was great ball fake inside. Dribble, penetrate, baseline, ball fake to get the defense up, and went up strong with it. Huron the last, 2, 3, 4 minutes, played awfully well.
Hill looks inside. Bruscotter for three, doesn't go, but another offensive rebound by the Whippets. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will go to Huron with 10 seconds to go in the half.
Certainly enough time to get a good shot. Shelby's not going to make it easy on them, though. They're going to continue with their full court pressure. It'll be interesting to see if they try to trap here, just stay man.
Ball inbounded to Lamb. An off-balance forced three. Tate Fisher says he was fouled, but no whistle. And Shelby with a solid first half, 45-28 over Huron. We'll be back to take a look at the halftime numbers right after this. You're watching Boys High School Tournament Basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
No paywalls, just live sports, exclusively on the OH Report.
It is halftime here in this district semifinal matchup between Shelby and Huron. The Shelby Whippets with a 45-28 lead. And as we take a look at the halftime numbers, we're going to see it's about what we expected, except for the free throws. 14 for Shelby and only one make for Huron.
Well, Shelby's been very aggressive. Not only are they knocking down their free throws, but they've been aggressive, especially Pugh, Lance, taking the ball hard to the basket. And if you're Huron, if you don't get early help, all you're going to have the chance to do is foul.
Well, and you take a look at the disparity in the free throws, the field goals and the threes, Huron is playing pretty much with Shelby.
I tell you, the last, 3-4 minutes of that second quarter, Huron played awfully well. I thought at both ends of the court, which happens so often in basketball. If you get some defensive stops, it gives you confidence, a little bit more relaxation at the offensive end. Also, if you're scoring at the offensive end, it gives you a little bit more juice at the defensive end. And you could see that from Huron in the last 4 minutes. They outscored Shelby that quarter, 18-17.
TJ Pugh, though, outstanding in the first half. 22 points, just a couple of points below his per-game average. Cody Lance with 11, and the leading scorer for Huron, Dylan Holler, the sophomore, with 10 points, including a couple threes. He's got a nice stroke from the outside, and he's able to take it, put it on the floor, and go to the basket.
Yeah.
But they're going to need a little bit more offense if they want to get back into this game.
Well, they are. You know Shelby's not going to adjust much. They're going to come out, and they're going to continue to trap, pressure you, and if Huron has to be able to handle that. Listen, at the end of the first quarter, we talked about Huron having 6 turnovers. Well, the end of the half with only a total of 8. So the second quarter, they did a great job of handling the basketball, which is hard to do. I mean, it's easy up here for me to say, come on, Huron, handle the basketball and you'll be okay at the offensive end. Well, with that kind of pressure that Shelby gives, you know, that is just difficult to do. But again, you know Shelby's going to continue with that. They want to make it a high-scoring game. They'll give up some points if it means they get a chance to get some run-outs on offense.
So there's 2 things that Huron has to handle in the second half. One is they have to handle the basketball, and 2, they have to handle TJ Pugh.
Yeah. Well, you're hoping that that halftime maybe cooled him down a little bit. That's the big hot. But you know, he shot the ball extremely well. But I still think And again, I still think if you're Coach James, your game plan is right where it has to be. Keep him out front. Yeah, when he does pull up for a three, you would like to have a little bit more contest of the shot, a hand up. But first and foremost, keep all of them from getting to the hoop, and then limit them to one shot each time down.
Well, and it seems like that was their game plan, to keep Pugh outside, because most of the time when he penetrated to the basket, he had 3 jerseys collapsing on him, and nothing outside of a couple possessions, nothing was really easy for him going to the rim.
No, but the 3 guys that are collapsing on him are within like 2 or 3 feet of the basket, and he's 6'5", so he's able to jump, get a good look over them. When they were successful, I thought, Huron was able to get the help defense before the free throw line, before 15-foot mark. Keep him to where he's going to have to pull up for a mid-range jumper. Yeah, he hit one early, but still, you can't take away everything from a quality player like TJ Pugh. Try to take away some things. Keep him from getting right to the basket and try to contest a little bit on the threes.
I liked Nathan Loney's time out there in the second quarter. He saw things starting to get a little bit sloppy and wanted to say, look, and you talked about this, we've got to stay focused. We have to do what we do for 32 minutes, and then we're going to get out here. Then we'll think about, our next game on Saturday, but you got to take care of business here tonight.
Well, as you mentioned, and I don't know Coach Loney, and I don't know the Shelby players, but they know they've had a great season. They know they've had some big wins this year, none of them bigger than the win at Lima Senior. They have aspirations of a long tournament run. Well, you just can't play up and down when you get this far in the tournament. You're going to have to play pretty darn good basketball unless you've got LeBron James or some real stud that can just take over. You're going to have to be playing your best basketball as the tournament continues.
Now, we have seen Lima Senior this year, and for Shelby to knock them off, that's impressive.
That was a big win. You're right. Lima Senior, not as big as Shelby, but certainly quicker than Shelby. And same style. They like to gamble. They like to get out and trap the basketball and get the ball going up and down the court. Really what's impressive, besides the win, it was in Lima. And I took a lot of teams to Lima over the years, to Lima Senior. That's not easy, though. That they like to protect their home court.
That's a very good basketball environment when you have a lot of fans in the stands and it's very loud. This year, obviously, that wasn't the case. I don't know if that was a factor. When it all comes down to it, you have to get down on the floor and play the game.
Exactly.
And it was just a nice win for Shelby.
It was. Big win early in the season.
So the Whippets start with the ball. They were trying to run a set right off the bat and were not able to get the backside lob.
Same play they started the game with.
TJ Pugh with 22 points in the first half. There's Lance with a take. Can't finish, and Huron pushes to the other end.
Now, can they get a good look down here? They seem to be better in that second quarter when there was a little transition. Still in the half court, Shelby's a difficult team to score against, unless you have some outstanding ball handlers.
Lance with the turnover, and he's able to finish at the other end. Cody Lance now with 13. Watching how Shelby plays and watching what Lima Senior did against Mansfield Senior, I would have loved to have seen the pressure on both sides of the floor.
I agree. That would have been outstanding.
3 in the air by Tyler Adams. And it's a 16-point game.
And again, good ball movement. They get a good look, and they knock down the shot. Shelby's doing a good job with player movement. You find so many teams, especially good teams, where one player might dominate dribbling the ball and the other 4 just kind of stand and watch. Shelby's doing a good job with player movement as well as ball movement.
Andre Hill left open for 3. You could tell he was sizing up and thought the defender was going to come out, and he didn't. And he makes them pay. He now has 8, and the lead is back to 19.
And that time down, and I have a feeling it's what they're going to try to continue. Huron is denying the ball to Pugh, but the other guys take advantage.
Pugh comes up with the steal up ahead to Lance. And the foul, and there you see the court vision
right
that TJ Pugh has. The second he gets the ball, he's looking up the floor.
Yeah, and again, he led the conference in assists. He led the conference in steals, so he's someone that's very unselfish. It's not just all about him and getting points. If you're open, he'll find you. And we've seen a couple of very good players this year that are unselfish like that.
Lance now with 14.
That's right. TJ Pugh, I remember this now, but our producer,
basketball
Adam,
encyclopedia.
Yeah. Adam says he's going to Mercyhurst, and I know that Ashland University opened up with Mercyhurst. They're a nationally ranked Division II school. I've been there a couple of times for taking teams in there, and very good basketball school. Not too far away, just Erie, Pennsylvania area.
They're going to say that Roberts was on the baseline, so the ball's going to go back to Huron. There again is that play up ahead to Lance.
Now I got to ask Adam. I mean, after that pass, is he going for football or basketball? He might be a quarterback right there. That was a nice.
Well,
nice,
he wasn't.
Nice
Yeah, he's going to go play squash.
Yeah.
Long three in the air. Lance with the miss up ahead to Pugh. And Pugh just glides to the basket. Ball doesn't even touch the floor.
Nice Euro move right there. Avoid the charge with the Euro move, taking it up strong. And again, unselfish play by Shelby.
There you take a look at the replay. And another turnover. And Lance has it knocked out of bounds. The poke by Tyler Adams, and it will stay with Shelby. The Whippets 54 and the Tigers 31, 4:57 to go, third quarter. The winner of this game takes on the Norwalk, Ontario winner. That game will be played right after this game.
And it looks like the Ontario team is just arriving. Get to see a little bit of the second half of this game. They, of course, know Shelby as they played them twice.
And if it does come down to that rematch, Shelby won both of those ball games. Lance now starting to assert himself here in the third quarter.
Ontario played them tough, though. Shelby won by 5 points and won by 12. It'll be a great game, whoever plays in that district finals.
Holler picks up his dribble outside the three-point line, forced to call a timeout with 4:11 to go.
Yeah, you don't want to pick up your dribble against Shelby.
No, Shelby's a team that really is a sound defensive team, and you pick up your dribble, and they are up in your grill.
Up in your grill and also denying the pass. So it's tough way to go. And right now, Huron has used its last timeout of the basketball game.
Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors, Mama's Pizza of Shelby. Order online or by phone for pickup or delivery now at mamaspizzashelby.com or by dialing 419-342-7777. Also by Adams, Albert, and Curie Agency, where commitment means being involved, active in the community, and dedicated to its growth. The Adams, Albert, and Curie Agency is committed to the people of Shelby and has been there for over 3 generations. And also by A1 Auto Sales in Mansfield. Shop online to see A1's exclusive local inventory at a1autoohio.com. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from Ashland High School. It's all Shelby in game one of our doubleheader. They have a 56-31 lead over Huron with 4:06 to go in the third quarter.
You know, what's impressed me about Huron, though, is the kids are still playing hard. So often when you get tournament time, and this has been such a grueling season for all high school kids. When you get behind 15, 20 points, kids just give up. But the Huron kids are still battling.
Cole Parker with a nice shot fake. As you see, he goes to the basket, and he'll then go to the line. As I watch Shelby, they are very aggressive, especially inside. And if I'm coaching against them, I'm telling all of my shooters, you give them a shot fake, and they're going to go flying into the air. And that's really been the case here in the first 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, Huron's, especially in the second quarter here, has done a good job with ball fakes. You're right. So many kids don't have that in their repertoire nowadays. But good ball fake, whether it's a shot fake or a pass fake, can help you tremendously.
Lance launches a three at the other end. And the
got a
save pass then goes to Huron, and Lance is going to commit the foul. Or it's Pugh, excuse me. And it will send Tyler Adams to the line. Adams, a 73% free throw shooter, averages almost 9 points a game.
Now, we got to look at it. Tyler Adams, they have him listed about 5'9". He's going hard to the basket on his left side, and there's 6'6", probably the best athlete on the court, right there in front of him. But he challenged him, took it up strong, and got picked up the foul.
Adams now with 8. And Pugh at the other end.
See where the early help? They helped that time before he got inside the free throw line. That's good defense right there. Good help defense.
Tough shot inside, doesn't go, but the offensive putback by Bruscotter, and this is a nice-looking freshman.
Yeah, he is. And again, people have talked highly about him, and he's going to be quite a player.
Pugh swats it out of bounds off the Tyler Adams miss. So Huron will inbound under their own basket. 24-point lead for Shelby. Andre Hill, one of the Shelby Whippet football players.
Who has a nice perimeter shot himself.
Tough shot.
Good defense. Good defense that time.
Jeremy Holloway.
Good defense to cause the jump ball situation, and the arrow points in Huron's direction.
So Holloway's going to sit down with 2:48 to go in the quarter. Luke Rager bringing it up against Andre Hill.
Andre doing a great job of bodying up on the ball handler.
Three in the air by Parker doesn't go. And Pugh misfires on the runner, but he's able to knock it away, but it goes out of bounds, and it will go to Huron.
TJ Pugh's got the Euro step down. He does that awfully well.
Okay, now I watch a lot of basketball. When did that become a thing? Within the last 10 years? I mean, you see it in the NBA a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Obviously, with the influx of foreigners coming straight to the NBA, that's helped quite a bit.
I don't think Bob Cousy had that in his repertoire.
Well, truth be told, if you watch some old black and white film of Bob Cousy, I'm not sure he had a left hand.
Well, that's
he just
true.
dribbled with his right hand everywhere and was.
Well, you couldn't get it out of his right hand. He didn't need a left hand.
Well, you're probably right. Yeah.
Never saw Larry Bird with a Euro step.
No.
Lance off balance in the lane, doesn't go, but a nice follow by Isaiah Ramsey. There's a good look at Bobby James, there was a good look at Bobby James, the coach for Huron.
He's being awfully positive. Tough situation. I think he knows it coming into this game. All you can ask is for your kids to play their hearts out. They are playing hard.
There he is. The coach of the Huron Tigers in his 12th season. He played his high school ball at Sandusky Perkins. An offensive foul called on that play, and Nathan Loney's going to smile about it, but he's not happy.
I was looking away, but I think, did they call it illegal screen that time? You know, and I don't think high school teams do enough ball screening. Shelby does as much ball screening, especially for Pew, as anybody I've seen.
I don't know if it's taught enough to, one, set a screen, and two, for the offensive player to use it correctly.
Well, you're right. I mean, there's two parts to it. I mean, besides the guy setting the screen, you've got to set your man up and come off the ball screen. That's totally correct. But, you know, it's so popular in the NBA. It's so big in college basketball. I thought I would see more here in high school basketball. So difficult to defend.
Huron with an opportunity here. Down 24 with 1:13 to go in the quarter. Three in the air, misfired by Holler. Well, in this game, you got the battle of the younger coaches in Bobby James and Nathan Loney. And in the nightcap, you've got two of the more seasoned, successful veterans in high school basketball, and Joe Baylog and Steve Gregg, over 1,000 wins.
That's a lot of W's.
Pugh forced to give it up. That's Lance in the corner. But another offensive rebound in the size of Shelby, allowing them to continue to dominate on the boards.
He's just not strong enough right now as a freshman to get right back up to the hoop with it. He will be as the years go by, but right now just not quite strong enough.
Well, and he's listed at 6'5", and you might think he might grow another inch or two. Pugh.
Where does Shelby find all these big dudes? They're certainly not moving to Huron.
No, they're not moving to Mansfield either.
No, they're not.
There's not a lot of height in Mansfield. And a foul as Lance was trying to get away with the basketball. We've been covering teams like Mansfield Senior and Northmore and Mount Gilead, and we have not seen a lot of size. See a lot of 6'2", 6'3" post players.
And, of course, with today's game where teams are spreading the court so much, and Shelby spreads the court a great deal, but still not a lot of bigs.
Three in the air by Marshall Shepard doesn't go, and that will do it for the third quarter. It's all Shelby as we head to the fourth. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
I am so glad that this commercial break is over.
Yeah, so am I.
I will leave it at that. As we head to the fourth, Shelby on top 58-34. And in all likelihood, Shelby is going to advance to the district final. That will be played on Saturday here at Ashland High School. And they will take on the Ontario Norwalk winner. That game is coming up right after this one.
Well, that last quarter, Shelby won the quarter 13-6, so giving Shelby 13 points in a quarter is not bad defense. But obviously when you only score 6 yourself, that's struggling. Nice back door.
Nice ball movement and
Yes.
an open shot taken and made by Tyler Adams.
Very good interior passing by Huron.
And a turnover, and here come the Tigers. So now the question will be how long, and you don't get the ball up in the air.
No.
Andre Hill with a layup at the other end. So now the question would be how long do you leave your starters in?
Well, you're right. Again, you want to be playing well. I'm not sure Shelby in the last third quarter and maybe the 3 or 4 minutes in the second are playing at the level that Coach Loney would want.
Just inside the three-point line, Jacob Lamb, where they called that a three, but it looked like his foot was on the line. And I think the official's going to, they're going to call a foul. I don't know if we can get a replay of that last shot, but it did not look like a three. Watch.
No, it looks like he's inside. Oh,
that's
yeah.
a two.
Exactly.
Well, the good news is they don't have replay, so they're not going to stop the game for 15 minutes and look at every angle, but it was a pretty obvious.
And you don't get anything by our producer. Adam, he'll catch anything.
And then the bad news is it could have been a 5-point basket, and it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Up ahead to Legando, and then another turnover. And Lance with the left hand.
That was a nice move. That's the only shot he had. That was a nice move.
Lance now with 19. He has half of the point total that all of Huron has for the first 3.5 quarters.
You see just the bigger, taller Shelby kids. They're doing a great job protecting the basket. That when Huron penetrated that time, Shelby's just right there and make you throw up a difficult shot.
And then they sprint right back on D. There's another turnover. Noah Rank. And they're unable to convert in transition. Lamb that time for three. Shot and a foul as Luke Legando will go to the line.
Well, you're right, Brian. There's 5 minutes to go in the game. The game is not in question right now. If you're Coach Loney, on one hand, you want your kids to get a good run. But on the other hand, certainly you don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want them to come down on somebody's ankle and turn an ankle.
What was your rule of thumb, time-wise, score-wise, where you started thinking about getting your starters out?
Well, I am so bad with that I'd have to have an assistant tell me.
Because you were so locked in on the game and you didn't even think about the time and score.
We were up 32 in a state championship game, and I didn't want to sub. So I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Pugh with a nice dish to Isaiah Ramsey.
Again, Shelby unselfish with the basketball. If you're open, they'll find you.
Couple shots there taken by Tate Fisher. Neither one of them goes, but another Shelby turnover.
Nice pass.
Fisher just zips it inside to Tyler Adams. And Adams now with 12.
And that was not a big window. He had to zip it between a couple of players, and that was a very nice pass.
From where we're seated, we had a perfect line of sight to what he saw. And you're right, that was a very narrow window. Pugh with a spinner on the baseline. And a timeout taken with 4:05 to go. Shelby's TJ Pugh now with 26 points. The nice spin move.
Not an easy move, but right there he came down. I don't think he hurt himself, but maybe that was enough where I see where Shelby calls timeout and sends a couple of subs to the table. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not for maybe Pugh and Lance right now.
Well, and that's what you have to think about when
Right.
that kind of thing happens, and then you look at the clock and his assistant's going, okay, we need to get him out.
Yeah. Because come up on Saturday, whether it's Ontario or Norwalk, it's going to be a tough basketball game. Yeah, they've beaten Ontario twice. They're league opponents. If it is Ontario, they're going to come out very motivated. I'm sure Norwalk will also, but Ontario has lost to them twice. They're not used to losing very often. They're going to come out firing on Saturday night.
Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. One, if they were to get to that point, it would be the possibility for Joe Baylog to get his 600th career win. He's 2 away. And if they knock off Norwalk tonight, then that could set up that historic milestone for Joe Baylog on Saturday. Backside rebound, up and in by Legando. Going to call a reach-in foul on Tate Fisher. I am really surprised that Lance is still in the game. Foul on Tate Fisher, that's his 4th personal.
We have a sub checking in next dead ball. I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't for Cody Lance. And again, you can just see good ball movement. Even for with Pugh and off the court, still players are getting good ball movement, good player movement.
Ball slips out of the hands. And then a foul at the other end by Bruscotter. Bruscotter trying to measure it up. Got ball, but also got him with the body. Tate Fisher at the line.
I've said it earlier, but if you're Coach James, I think you have to be happy with how your team played tonight. Especially after a first quarter where they give up 28 points. They just continued to battle and did some really good things since the first quarter.
So Cody Lance is done for the night. He scored 19 to go along with the 26 scored by Pugh. Pugh scored only 4 points in the second half, but Lance did a nice job of picking up the slack.
And I thought Huron did a much better job defensively on him with early help and also good pressure on him.
Legando trying to go baseline. Kicked out. That's Joey Shade for 3.
Well, you could see where, Shelby gives up a lot of three-point shots. If you're able to break their pressure, they're going to give you 3-point shots. So for a team to beat them, you're going to have to be either a good three-point shooting team or be able to attack off that pass out of the trap and take it in strong to the hoop.
Yeah, no, in a minute he's standing by.
Got a whistle and a timeout. Will be called with 2:03 to go. It's all Shelby, and they really, from the start, jumped out and took control of this ball game. TJ Pugh with a solid first half, 22 points in the first 2 quarters alone. And Huron was just really never able to make any kind of a run. And as a result, Shelby is going to advance to the district final on Saturday. And who they take on will be determined within the next 4 hours, as Ontario and Norwalk will square off in the second game of our doubleheader that you can see right here on the OH Report, as the Norwalk Truckers will take on the Ontario Warriors.
And if you're the seniors for Huron playing your last basketball game, yeah, you got beat this game, but you did win a sectional championship. So you earned a trophy for your school. And again, I've seen Clear Fork. We've had Clear Fork. That's a good basketball team that they beat in the sectional finals.
So Shelby with a lot of youngsters on the floor right now. But these are also, especially 3 of them, have seen significant minutes in this ball game. Nick Bobka comes up with the turnover.
Nice penetration, kick.
3 by Bobka doesn't go.
Remember in the olden days when you tell the guy to shoot a layup, and now they kick it out for a 3? I'm still not sold that a 3 is the best shot for every team.
You mean you're not for shooting 3s in transition?
Well, I mean, if you're kicking it out to Stephon Curry, yes, I am. But if you're kicking it out to someone like me, no. You try to finish.
Who was one of the most reliable perimeter shooters that you had, either at Lex or Mansfield Senior?
Probably Rashad Reed, who went on to play at Illinois State. He could just knock it down. And he could do it off the dribble. He was just a good ball handler. Outstanding player, obviously.
We approach a minute. And Max Hess, a sophomore, gets into the scoring column.
That's always fun to do in a tournament basketball game.
Strong take inside and a nice finish by Joey Shade, the junior.
That was a strong take.
Long 3 in the air by Bryson Baker. Baker, another freshman.
Yeah, I'm assuming these guys probably played JV basketball this year, not freshman basketball. But, again, they've got a good-looking young crew.
$20 seconds to go in this one.
Nice pass. Nice pass. Nice tee up by Dylan Holer also on the dribble penetration baseline.
Holer now with 12, and that's going to do it. And Shelby will advance to the district final after a 75-49 win over the Tigers of Huron. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with our postgame, including hopefully we'll get TJ Pugh up here. You're watching Boys High School Tournament Basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
No paywalls, just live sports, exclusively on the OH Report.
Time now for our player of the game, and this was probably one of the easier choices we've made all year. TJ Pugh, 26 points, 22 of those, in the first half. You really came out with a solid mindset offensively. Was that part of the coach's game plan, or did you just come out determined that you were going to put this team on your back?
I mean, once I got my first bucket, I felt good, so I just kept shooting, and it just kept going in. So I know what I can do on the offensive end, so I just kept shooting, and they kept falling for me.
Offensively, you guys play with a lot of confidence, and you have, obviously, you and Cody are the guys with the big numbers, but you also have other guys that can step up and contribute as well.
Right. I mean, all year long, a lot of teams focus on me and Cody, but we know, both of us know that our team can back us up at any time, so I've really taken that personal, and when teams throw doubles or face guards, I always know that my team got my back and I can just dish it off.
Now, I noticed they went down and hit a three. You went down and you hit a three, and you were kind of bobbing your head backing up. What was going through your mind then?
I mean, I was just hot. I mean, I felt it, and I just was like, right back at you, dude.
So you guys are going to end up playing the winner of Norwalk, Ontario. You've already beaten Ontario twice this year. Do you have a preference over who you play, or does it really matter?
I mean, my focus is on us right now. I'm not worried about any other team. I'm worried about Shelby, and we're just going to focus on us and play our game on Saturday, and whatever happens, happens.
Any word on Grant in his hand, chance that he might play Saturday?
I don't think he's going to play Saturday. I mean, if we win that game and move on, there is a chance he could play in the next one after that, but this Saturday I think is a no-go for him.
Okay. Well, congratulations on a nice win, and good luck on Saturday. We'll see you back here on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations to TJ Pugh, our player of the game, 26 points for the 6'6 senior. He did it really inside and outside, Coach, and he was the hot hand really early, kind of cooled off in the second half. He only scored 4. But they were able to get 19 points from Cody Lance, and that's really been their formula all season long, those two really providing a lot of the scoring punch.
Well, like we talked about, I thought Huron did a better job defending Pugh in the second half. But, you know, if you're going to team defend, if you're going to help, he's such a good passer. He can pass out of any trap, especially if it's 6 foot and under trapping him. He'll find the open man, and Cody Lance took advantage of it.
Well, as we take a look at the final numbers, well, maybe we will take a look at the final numbers here. Just 1 second. Shelby again coming up with a big win thanks to TJ Pugh and his 26 points. Cody Lance with 19. Those were the leading scorers individually. And the leading scorer for Huron was Dylan Holer, who had an outstanding night as well. He had 12 points. He had a big first half, had 10 of those in the first half, kind of cooled off in the second half. But Shelby did a nice job defensively and not letting him or really anybody else step up and do anything offensively in the second half.
Well, with the type of defense that they play, the swarming defense, you need some good ball handlers and some people that can finish at the basket. And tonight, Huron struggled a great deal of tonight trying to do that, but you know, they're not the only team. Shelby has taken advantage of a lot of good teams this year.
Now as we take a look at the final numbers, we can see the domination by Shelby. 19 field goals, 7 threes, 16 free throws. They did not shoot as many free throws in the second half. 11 turnovers. They forced 16 for Huron, and it was just really, it looked like they were going to score a lot more points than they did,
right,
especially after a strong first half. They kind of cooled off a little bit there in the second half. Huron never, though, was really a threat to come back in the ball game.
No, and we said from the very beginning, a couple of keys. Number one, they had to handle the ball pressure of Shelby, and you see they had 16 turnovers. And they did a better job as the game progressed. But in the first quarter alone, they had, 6 or 7 turnovers, and Shelby took advantage of it. We said that Huron would have to rebound and limit to one shot. Well, you can see where Shelby dominated on the boards also tonight. But, again, I said those were keys, but that was a tall task to try to accomplish those against a good Shelby team.
With the win, Shelby is now 19-3, and Huron ends the season 11-7. The Whippets will advance to the district finals to take on the Ontario Norwalk winner on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The final score tonight, Shelby 75 and Huron 49. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson. And the fine camera work courtesy of Blake Phelps, Mason Neese, and Max Sinatra. Tonight's stats courtesy of Dave Willicke. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Shelby 75 and Huron 49. You've been watching high school basketball live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all of this possible. Keep it locked into the OH Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Gregg Collins, I'm Brian Harter. Stay tuned for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Ontario taking on Norwalk right here on the OH Report.